I picked that. That's my song. I picked Spice Girls because, hey, how's everybody doing? We've been through a lot tonight, right? Guys? What a long, strange journey this has been. I'm not gonna take up too much of your time. I know you guys are all here to see name Colin. Got it. We're really good friends. We're really good friends. I remembered his name like under 5 seconds. That's dope as fuck. You guys, I've been doing stand-up comedy for about 8 or 9 years now, and you look at me at the height of my success right here. Half an hour away from my house, where I went to high school and middle school, and shit ain't nothing changing. But I'm glad to be here with you guys. My favorite part about doing stand-up comedy is the fact that I had a nervous breakdown last year and quit stand-up comedy. I didn't know I had bipolar disorder. I just thought I got excitable and forgot shit sometimes. But it turned out that I had a serious thing going on, and instead of dealing with it like an adult, I packed up all of my bags and I moved to Oregon to work on a farm. Right? Because I think shit through. On all the adventures that I had on my way out to Oregon, I dropped acid at the Grand Canyon. Wouldn't recommend it. I'll explain, like, we were heading West Way. We were on nobody's schedule but our own. It was me and my friend that I was, like, moving out there with, and he was like, hey, do you want to stop by the Grand Canyon? I've never seen it. I was like, sure. I've only seen it in hover-round commercials. Let's go check that shit out. And we get there, and we're looking at God's majesty, or whoever's pulling the strings. Somebody has to be fucking with me. We're looking at God's majesty. And he pulls out his wallet, and he pulls out like this bit of tinfoil, and like 2 blotters are in it. And if you don't know what blotters are, you aren't doing college right, kids. Get with it. It's super fair. So we do the acid. I say, I don't want to do the acid as I'm putting the acid in my mouth, because I'm incorrigible. And we start going down the rim of the Grand Canyon, and we're about 2.5 miles down when I start feeling funny. And like the shit starts to change. I'm like, we're gonna turn around and start going back up, because nothing good is gonna come out of us going further down. We're just making this worse for ourselves. So we start going back up the cliffside, and it's a narrow walkway, and there's 2-way traffic, and there's just this huge group of Korean tourists like coming down at the same time we're going up, and the trip is kicking in. And I know what I look like to them. I'm just bug-eyed and sweaty and trying to figure it out. And they're just trying to walk past me. Also was not dressed for the occasion because I didn't know we were going on a hike. This is what I was wearing. Blue jeans, Converse. Horrible for like rock climbing or anything outdoorsy, no grip. I was wearing a t-shirt, a track jacket like a Russian gangster, and a leather jacket like an old-timey bad boy. I was not fit for the outdoors. And they just had to, I looked like a drug dealer who just got warped to the side of a canyon. It's like, what are you doing here, you weird New Jersey street tough? And I threw up right in front of this little girl. Not on the little girl, in front of her. Enough to scar her, but not like so that shit sticks where she's afraid of black people. And she has like a weird stereotype. All black people throw up on you. It's not true. It was just me, and I apologize. After that, we went to Flagstaff, Arizona. We spent the night in Flagstaff, Arizona. And the buddy that I was with, he had just gone through a breakup. And I was going through my wacky-do phase. And he was just trying to get out there and get back on the horse and meet women again. And so we go to a bar that's in the basement of this hotel, which is not a great sign to meet quality people. I don't know if you know that. It's a great sign of murder. We go down there because there's karaoke, and I fucks with the okie. And we're sitting down, and this girl, she's a very attractive girl, but clearly just drunk out of her mind. She's just like kind of staggering up to me. She's like, hey, do you want to dance? It's like, no, thank you. And she grabs my hand, assault, then pulls me out onto the dance floor and just starts trying to dance with me. And like after a while, it becomes clear that I'm not moving with her. I'm just kind of holding her. She smells like rum. And like, she pulls me in really close and she whispers in my ear, you are such a pussy. To which I responded, I know. And I went back to the bar and finished my beer, but her friend was there, and she hooked up with my friend, and she wanted us to come back to our hotel room, and we only had the one room, and I was like, hey, don't worry about it. I'll sleep in the car. You do what you gotta do, and if you wrap up and she leaves before the sun comes up, just call me and I'll get back in bed. It's fine. He goes, I can't do that to you. And I'm like, no. I'm not gonna get in the way. Tonight, your dick is our dick, and I haven't had sex since Star Trek 2 came out, so I need this as much as you do. Go do your thing, live your dream. And I go sleep in the car, and it's like 32 degrees outside, and there's no heat going, and there's a dog, just like barking and sniffing at the passenger door. For an hour, I let it happen until I just got frustrated because I was tired and cramped. We were in a Kia. I was just like, I ain't got shit for you, dog. I screamed at that dog, and it ran away. And that was the first time in my life that I felt like I had control over my own destiny. Dope. This is going well. I was in Portland for a little bit, and Portland is an interesting city. Well, all right, one thing, the Northwest in general is an interesting area because it really makes you appreciate a Southern redneck. All right, I missed Southern rednecks because I missed Southern racism. There's still racism in the Northwest, but I'd much rather have somebody call me the N-word so I know immediately not to hang out than for you to ask me who my top 5 favorite rappers are and then ask to touch my hair. Don't ask to touch my hair. That's a different kind of racism. We didn't sign up for that. Portland, fun fact about Portland, every house in Portland has a Black Lives Matter sign in front of it. Another fun fact about Portland, no black people in Portland, Oregon. It's me and the Portland Trail Blazers, and I'm pretty much sure that's it. Way to pick a side in a fight that's not yours. It was the same way when I would see a redneck in like with a Confederate flag in Oregon. I was like, bitch, you weren't even a thing. You don't even go here. Got real mean girls on his ass. Cool. I'm sober. How many of you in here can drink? Damn, that is depressing. All right, how many of you in here do drink? That is also depressing. I am here on behalf of your parents. What the fuck? This is not what they're paying for. I have a son. He just turned 3 in February. I'm 28 years old. It was about time that I had, a kid. It was about that time. He is 3 years old. He's a tuxedo. He loves catnip. His favorite food is Meow Mix. A little bit of salmon on his birthday only. And yes, he is my son. I do refer to him as such because he disappoints me every day. All of my money goes for him to just shit and eat and sleep and not get a job. I set him up a Monster.com account months ago, and that motherfucker hasn't put in one application. I'm gonna start charging him rent, or I'm gonna kick him out. I have to do one or the other because he's getting it way too easy. I spoil that cat. And when I say I spoil that cat, I mean my best friends now are the 70-year-old women that I meet in the cat food aisle at PetSmart, because do we gossip and aren't we catty? Because we'll see one of you college-age kids who think you're ready for responsibility, and you're ready to get a cat, and you're buying your cat just garbage-ass, basic bitch Meow Mix. How dare you? You know Rachel Ray has a brand, right? Treat your cat better is all I'm saying. I got him in like a very dark part of my life. I was like this close to committing suicide, and I was like, I gotta figure out something. So I go and I get a cat, and I love cats. I'm a cat guy. I don't like dogs. Cats are like girlfriends. You gotta work for that love. Dogs are like stupid high school boyfriends. You pet them once, they're not gonna stop calling you and fucking up your house. You don't need them. So when I was so excited to get my cat, and I was gonna get a black cat, and not for the reasons you think, but for they're adopted less than other cats because people still have some kind of weird Salem witch trial superstition about them. So I was gonna get me a black cat, and I was dedicated to it, and I found the black cat, and his name was Dasher. All right, stupid name, right off the bat. And you go into the shelter, and you get to meet Dasher, and I meet Dasher for 10 minutes, and Dasher was cool for 9 minutes and 50 seconds. It was the last 10 seconds where Dasher couldn't keep his shit together long enough to get bought, all right? I'm petting Dasher, Dasher's cool, and then Dasher starts looking off into the corner at nothing. Nothing's there, but he's rearing up, he's fucking getting it, and he goes head first to a wall. I was like, I don't need the slow cat, show me the rest of your stock. We're walking through, and I see this one black leg with a white end on it, a little sock hanging out of this cage, and it's just doing this out of the cage, and he's just fucking glaring at me, and I'm like, motherfucker, what's up? What's up? Show me that one. Who's your man's? Get him out the cage. Is he good? Is he solid? And I'm there with my best friend, and like, she takes him out the cage, she hands it to my friend. He's like, this is good shit. Like, it was cocaine or something. I thought he was gonna pull out a switchblade, cut a little of the cat, rub it on his teeth. He hands the cat over to me, and he digs his claws as deep as he can into my chin. And while his claws are in my chin, he throws up all over himself. And I said, what is this angel's name? And they go, well, his name's Kelso. I said, well, that's fucking stupid. We're changing that right now. She's like, well, what do you want his name to be? And I said, all right, now I had two hard choices in front of me. I ended up choosing Neil Patrick Harris because I know he's that guy from that one horrible show that you like, but to me, he's always gonna be Doogie Howser, all right? And then there was Malcolm X. Right? I'm disappointed in myself too. I didn't think of it until we left. She already printed the papers. I would have felt like an asshole if I went, no, change my cat to a black revolutionary's name. That's also a pun because I want him to love me and hate me at the same time. All right, I think I'm out of time here, so I'll do one more. Well, I'm getting to be out of time. I just want to leave. So, my first experience with death, I've always had this weird kind of fascination with my death, the death of like celebrities, my friends and family, because you start getting older and your friends start kind of dropping off, and that's the one thing they don't cover in your graduation speech is that some people ain't gonna make it to the reunion. So that's something I had to deal with. But my first instance with death, I was in the 7th grade, and my great-grandmother, my grandmother, my mom, my 2 sisters, and me, we all lived in one house. Like, it was a small house. We barely had like money for shit, so we all just kind of camped out in one house. And my great-grandmother was super old. Like, through most of the time that I knew her, she had a hospice. She was on like support in home, and they would constantly have these false alarms where they thought, this is the end, she's gone. This is, everybody come see Granny, come be around her. And so after a while, you stop taking it serious. You're like, oh, that old bitch is gonna live forever. It's fine. The 7th grade happened. I was in my science class that day, early in the day, and my mom comes and pulls me out. She's like, we think this is it. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. And we go, and my whole family's there, and it just has this different feel to it, you know what I mean? The air was different. And we all were gathered around her bed, and she was telling us how much she loved us and how much we enriched her lives and how she hoped she enriched ours. We all kind of held our hand and said our goodbyes. When it was my turn to hold her hand, that's when she had kind of like slipped. And if you've never seen a person slip, it's like they let out this like death rattle, and the eyes kind of get like when you're watching a TV in the dark and you turn it off, and it just takes a while for that light to go out, all right? So she died in a room in that house. We just recently moved back into that house, and I'm surrounded by all the old memories, and I'm sleeping in the bedroom that she slept in. I'm sleeping in the bedroom that she died in, and I can't tell you how hard it is every day to masturbate in that room because I feel like her ghost is there. Don't look at me, Nana. Thank you guys very much. I've been Josh Johnson. Enjoy the rest of your evening.